Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome to the final review for the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer beta. Keep in mind, I'm not reviewing the full game, obviously. I'm just reviewing the beta for multiplayer so far, going over some changes I think that really need to go into the game. So, on the screen right now, I'm going to go ahead and show a snapshot of some of my, I guess, personal score and my stats. I think I've played the game just about as much as you can really play it. I finally reached max rank last night. I have played every game mode on every map pretty extensively. I've won my first tournament in Black Ops 4, shout out to Chris, Prime, all them. So I think I'm pretty qualified to finally make this final review. So anyways, let's start with the good things, and I guess in its current state, this game is really a few changes away from being a good game. And right now, it's mediocre. It's pretty decent. It's on the good side of mediocre, but this game still isn't great. And it's not really good, and that's because of some of the changes that they have yet to make, and even some changes that they've decided to revert. I'll of course talk about those in a minute. Now that they have finally, I guess, adjusted the specialists going into Weekend 2, I finally really enjoy the specialist system, I think about as much as I really can, because I'm not a fan of specialists. I actually think that in most scenarios they're just something for weak players to use to get kills. But in this game, I feel a little bit differently about them so far, because they're lethal abilities, like let's say the flamethrower for Fire Break, right? You don't get that off the rip, and you actually need to really use his non-lethal ability to use him, right? And that's the case with all of the specialists, and not all the specialists even have a lethal streak, or not a lethal streak, but a lethal specialist ability. My favorite specialist in the game, Recon, has his sensor dart, which kind of gives you a little radius on your mini-map where enemies will show up if they come into the radius that it pings, and then he has his goggles that he pulls down where he can ping all the enemies through the entire map like 4 times through a sweep. It's basically like a UAV, except you can see the enemies through outlines. So obviously he doesn't have a lethal ability, and I think that's really a good change for the game, because when we had all lethal abilities, and then of course we had the tactical abilities in Black Ops 3, bad players tended to lean on those lethal abilities like it was their cash crop pretty much, because I mean it was really an easy way to get kills. In this game I don't really feel like that's the case. As much as I've really played, honestly, the most I think I've ever gotten a flamethrower in the game was twice, and that was a really long match. And I think honestly it takes a lot to get those lethal specialists, so I think that's fine. I'm glad that they did adjust the shield's radius where it kind of microwaves you. They did, I think, do a little bit of changes to the dog, and I haven't had as much of a problem with it in the second weekend. The game modes, except for Hardpoint and Domination, are really enjoyable. Chaos TDM is nothing different. I don't even understand why they're trying to... Why call it even Chaos TDM? Just call it like Classic TDM. It's 6v6 where you can have 2 of each specialist on each team. So like what's the difference? It's not Chaos, it's the original formula, you know? Control is going to be, I think, a really good competitive game mode this year for those of you who watch competitive COD. I don't know, I don't enjoy playing it a whole lot, especially in solos, because you know how random teammates are in Call of Duty games. They're garbage, you can't communicate, and in a game where it really focuses on playing tactical and playing as a team, playing solos in this game probably just isn't that fun for a lot of people. Now that I actually have a squad of people to run with, I think that's another reason I'm having a lot more fun in the game, because it's easier to communicate with your teammates, it's easier to win, it's easier to do better. So Heist is definitely my favorite game mode in the game right now, and I think going into the actual game it might be my favorite. They did blatantly rip off CSGO with the whole buy menu thing, and the objective is kind of based on that mode from Battlefield Hardline, I guess, but it's still really fun. I do enjoy it as an addition to Call of Duty, and overall me and my friends are just destroying everyone in this game mode. On stream last night we had like a 20 win streak. We were just blowing people out of the water with this. So the gameplay, it's not horrible anymore. Like the time to kill, I had a huge issue with that, and to be fair, I still wish they would lower it, but the gameplay is pretty fun, and it's definitely set itself up to be good if they do make some changes to the game that are needed. I mean, I'm having fun on it, and a lot of it has to do, of course, that I have friends, but I mean, even then, it's just, I don't know, the game is a couple steps away from being really good, but right now the gameplay is definitely concrete. I don't hate it as much as I used to, and I think that it's going in a good direction if Treyarch actually listens to us. The problem that I have is I feel like Treyarch realistically only listens to the bad players, because, I mean, okay, let's go into the bad now. They reverted jumping back to Weekend 1, so you can literally almost jump over people. And I mean, you can literally almost jump over people The jump height in this game is almost 6 feet in its current state. That is ridiculous. So that means that once people figure this out, every single gunfight you go into, you're going to have somebody jump 6 feet in the air. It's going to be impossible to keep aim on them because they jump so high so fast, and they can pretty much go right over your head if they want to. Well, just about. I mean, if they alter the jump to make it any higher, dude, they'll literally be jumping over you on some Vince Carter in the Olympics shit, okay? But gunfights with people just jumping around is, I hate it. I just don't enjoy that. That's not fun to me. The way that I see it is Nero was right, okay? If you want to have jumping that high for all the gunfights, just give us exo boosting back. I don't understand this about the Call of Duty community. I mean, like, we bitched about exo boosting for 3 whole years. We completely destroyed the Infinite Warfare trailer. It's like the second most disliked video in YouTube's history. Sales declined and everything, and then, of course, when Black Ops 4 comes out and it's quote-unquote boots on the ground and this dude is literally jumping 70 inches off the ground, everyone is suddenly fine with it, and I don't understand that. It's like, dude, come on, let's get it on boots on the ground, you know? They keep trying to say they're making this game about gun skill, and I can see how the higher time to kill, I guess, does, you know, involve a lot more gun skill. You have to have better aim and stuff. I've adjusted to it, right? I'm doing pretty good on the new time to kill, I would say. I mean, I have like a 4 KD on most maps. My win-losses are pretty high, so... But if you're trying to make it more about gun skill, jumping 80 feet in the fucking air and shooting somebody from ahead, that's not gun skill, that's just jump skill. Thankfully, they did fix sliding. That was another big issue I had. In the first weekend of this beta, you could literally just slide right past somebody real low and just demolish them, and now that has been nerfed back, and then they kind of reverted a little bit of the change to make it, I guess, a bit better, but, I mean, I have no problem with it right now. I guess it's easy to get to cover, which is the intended feature of the slide mechanic, is to be able to slide from cover to cover, but I mean, I'm not having a problem with that, so I have no issue with it at the moment. People who try to slide past me still get demolished, but the weapon tuning in this game has not improved at all. So the MX-9 was super overpowered in the first weekend of the beta. Now in the second weekend of the beta, it's the ABR burst rifle, or the tactical rifle, and I mean, it's realistically, if you're wanting to run an AR, it's pretty much the only viable option. The Rampart is really good, the KN is really good, but this thing is just a beast. It's a 2-burst pretty much at any range. They did increase the recoil off the second shot and everything, but even then, that's just not enough to stop this gun. This thing is just a goddamn beast. I used this entire thing throughout the tournament, and keep in mind, I'm not a quote-unquote pro player, right? But I was playing with pro players. Dude, I was keeping up with everybody. I was melting people, okay? And we ended up winning. This gun just runs pubs right now, and it runs those tournaments. I mean, in the tourneys, the only guns people were running, of course, they had the SMGs. People were running the SOG 9mm SMG, which is actually a really fun SMG to use. I enjoy it. I think it's the best one at the moment. So SMGs were running the SOG, but ARs and power position, it was just nothing but ABR. People sitting head glitches, ABR. Unless they just had no clue what they were doing, or these people were clearly not playing the game to win. No, they were just, it was ABR. There was even entire teams running this gun. The gun is actually so good right now, you could probably sacrifice having an SMG. I mean, I can hit people no problem with this thing. I don't know why they ever buffed the shotguns. That was completely unnecessary, but I enjoyed shotguns first weekend because it took 2 to 3 hits to kill you with them, and that took more gun skill with a shotgun, because obviously, throughout the entire history of Call of Duty, it's literally been pretty much one shot to kill with shotties. People could just run around and just fucking hip fire with shotguns and just destroy anyone, regardless of gun skill. I mean, if you're within 3 feet of these dudes, you're getting completely destroyed because, I mean, they literally just have to hit R2 at that point. So, when the shotguns were 2 to 3 hits to kill, 2-shot reliable with the MOG, I think that was better because it did really involve more gun skill, and then on top of that, you didn't have losers just running around with this shit being douchebags, right? Maps, okay? So Hacienda came in, that is definitely my favorite map so far. I just don't find the rest of the maps that good, okay? And Payload is alright, I guess, but all of these maps are super corridor based, and everyone always complains about the 3-lane system because there's only 3 lanes. If you don't like lanes, okay, why do we have to have 900 lanes all throughout the map of just these little corridors that just completely divide the map up? And it's, I don't know, I don't like corridor based maps, okay? Infinity Ward did that in Infinite Warfare, all the maps in that game except for Throwback, which ironically was the only map that didn't have corridors all over it, was pretty much dog meat. So Hacienda, I feel like, is a mix between Raid and Showdown for Modern Warfare. It's got like the courtyard in the middle with the surrounding deck or whatever you want to call it. Well, a surrounding building with the second story around it where, you know, you're just going to get melted regardless if you go down in that courtyard. But it is still kind of a 3-lane map. So, I mean, I enjoy it. The game modes, okay? There's good side of it and a bad side to it, okay? Hardpoint and domination in this game are garbage. The spawns are completely destroyed. The spawns are to the point where they just spawn behind you regardless, okay? You don't even have to flip spawns. Spawns will flip regardless, okay? And I hate that. So we're playing hardpoint in this tournament last night, right? And you would get to the new point, right? You would rotate through, you would grab the new point. You had no idea where they were coming from because the spawns in this game are so unpredictable. Half the time they come flooding in from their side where you could predict that's where they're coming from, but then the other half the time they're coming in from behind you, they're flanking, and they're destroying you. And they're not flanking from all the way around the map. No, this is too quick. This is like 15 seconds. You're not getting all the way around the map and back in 15 seconds. No, these fools were spawning behind us. Okay, they were spawning literally right behind us on the objective. Domination is the same way. You can literally get to the B flag and you already are losing your spawn flag because for some reason after like the first 3 kills they start spawning behind you. I guess this might be their attempt to try and fix spawn trapping, but at this point you're just making these modes chaotic and garbage, okay? It used to be really an accomplishment to get 15 captures on the flag in a match, right? But in this game, you could probably average 9 to 10 captures with no problem and get 15 if you put in, you know, heavy OBJ play. The spawns are ridiculous, and in their current state, they're gonna ruin those 2 modes. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to push everyone into their new game modes or what, but this just is not the way to do it. Score streaks, okay, this was a huge issue in weekend 1. Okay, I'm going to talk about all these. Okay, so I have used a bunch of the different score streaks. Realistically, I've used a couple more than the rest. Okay, so I usually run the UAV, Hellstorm, Lightning Strike, okay? Especially in the tournament. I need those quick kill streaks like wipe off hills and things like that, but the attack chopper still isn't good. It's better, but it's not good. I haven't seen anyone use the strike team. I haven't used it personally, so I can't comment on that, but it might still be dog meat. I have no idea. The strafe run, that Warthog is oh my god, that's so good. This dude I played with, okay, he got one in pubs, right? He literally got like 19 kills off of this Warthog, and I was shocked. I was like, okay, so they really must have done some work to this thing, and it's not even the top streak. The Hellstorm is pretty good now, I guess. I mean, I usually get like 2 or 3 kills with it, so, I mean, that's really all I expect out of it. I'm not trying to team wipe every time I get it, so. The Lightning Strike is still garbage. I wouldn't run it if I were you. I just don't enjoy it. At most, I get 2 kills, right? So, thankfully, they did work on the score streaks, and they did a lot of work to the game, to be fair. So, my first impressions of this game were awful, right? I hated this game, or at least the beta of it, of course. I hated the multiplayer beta. This might have been the worst Call of Duty in history. And then it started to grow on me over the end of the first weekend or so, but it still wasn't great. I still had a lot of issues with the game. Now I do see a lot of potential for the game, but it's being held back really by Treyarch. Treyarch, if you're watching this, you really need to listen not to the bad players, but to the good players, right? Okay, because we're going to give you the best feedback that makes the game good. You need to reward the good players, not the bad players, okay? Because in the end, they're not the people who play the game a lot, right? The good players are the ones who are going to go and get Master Prestige and get the Master Prestige rewards if they have them, or the Dark Matter or Diamond camo, right? You need to listen to us, okay? And I hope my feedback went through pretty clear with you guys because, I mean, I refrained, hopefully, from, you know, trying to insult people and things like that. I tried to be a little bit more cordial, right? Treyarch, if you're watching, like, this game right now, it's high-end mediocre, going on good, but with a few changes that I've given you here, you can really make this game great, okay? You can make this game better than Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great either. Right now, I would definitely rank Black Ops 3 just a little bit over Black Ops 4. This, I would say, is right now the worst Black Ops game we've seen, but it's not terrible, okay? It's not Infinite Warfare. It's not Advanced Warfare. It's not Ghosts, okay? You guys have a shot. Okay, you guys have time. The community really does believe in you, okay? We know Treyarch they're good at making COD, okay? You guys know what to do here. And Vonderhaar, we trust, dude. You have to step up to the plate and really make this game great. Overall, out of 10, I would give this multiplayer beta probably an 8, okay? I think it's right now definitely shaping up to be better than World War II was. But that's only because Sledgehammer really dropped the ball with World War II out of the gates, okay? Treyarch has a shot to not do that. If Treyarch can make a good game right out of the gates, they've immediately stepped up. And this game will probably sell better than World War II to begin with because it's a Treyarch game, and it's a Black Ops game. Fan recognition, you know? But don't let that guaranteed sales figure go to your head here. Make a good game. Bring COD back to its glory days. This is the most different Call of Duty I've ever played. It doesn't play like a Call of Duty game, and you guys did, and let's be honest, you blatantly copied a lot of features from all kinds of different games. Buy menu from CSGO. Reworked specialists to be just like Overwatch. Higher time to kill like other games. Barbed wire, all that stuff. Rainbow Six Siege, right? Operator mods. Rainbow Six Siege. Heist. Battlefield Hardline / CSGO. Okay, this game is heavily inspired by all the other games that are succeeding. And if you're inspiring everything heavily off all the other games that are succeeding, and then of course building it around Black Ops 3, which let's be honest, this game is a lot like Black Ops 3, how can you go wrong? You know, how can you mess that up? Don't try to do that, but really step up to the plate and make a good game here, okay? I mean, this whole franchise is really relying on this game. If this game flops, and there is no Modern Warfare 4 next year, with the original Infinity Ward team kind of, you know, reassembling for this game, COD is really done. This is it. This is really, at least, as far as we can confirm now, the last shot COD has to be good. And right now, mediocre going on good is not going to cut it. You need to make a great Call of Duty. Listen to the good players. Listen to me. Listen to Nero. Listen to Birdman. Listen to the comp players. Listen to the whole competitive community. Listen to the pro players who are actually on rosters. Listen to the old fans who played the greatest Call of Duty games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Don't listen to the people who suck at the game, are going to play like 3 hours of it, get bored of it, not prestige once, and, you know, play it 2 months into its lifespan because they're not good at the game, you know? Don't listen to that. Anyways, guys, that's the final review for Black Ops 4's multiplayer beta. Of course, I'll have one of these for the Blackout beta too. I'll talk about the Battle Royale coming to Call of Duty, right? Anyways, this weekend coming up, I will be at Call of Duty World League Champs in Columbus. I'm rooting for EU. Hopefully EU pulls this off. But I'm probably going to make a series about that, I guess. Probably a video for each day. It's pretty much going to be the experience of a lifetime for me and all my friends who, you know, we like Call of Duty. Call of Duty's been a game that we've enjoyed growing up. And a lot of us are really into the competitive scene too. So this is going to be a, you know, big step for us. We're going to enjoy it a lot, I hope. So that will be coming to the channel. By that time, we might hit 100,000, and I'll have a video explaining everything for that, and of course, videos for that coming up. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new. We are almost 1,000 away from 100,000, guys. Follow me on Twitter at SubToOptimus for memes, thoughts, and updates. And hey, join that Discord down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus playing the last day of Black Ops 4's beta and signing out.